I'm Iris from Iris Impressions Art. I recently finished this square chonky journal that I have been working in since 2017, so nearly 4 years, and I thought it'd be fun to show you a little flip through. Before we start, just to let you know, there are 2 videos. The one that you're watching, in which I talk to you and I explain some of the pages that are in here, and the other video, which I will put a card here, which is the one where I don't talk and I just show you the journal in a flip through. Alright, I hope you enjoy the video and I hope that you find my artwork inspiring. Let's get into it. This is a Sea White of Brighton square sketchbook. It's 14 by 14 centimeters and it's 140 GSM. It is one of my favorite types of art journal slash sketchbooks. I got this one from my friend Marika, which is why it's got her branding on it. Initially, when I started this in 2017, she gave me 2 other ones for my kids and we started drawing in it together, like doing art journaling time together. So that's what the first few pages are about. But then I realized I really like this small square sketchbook and I wanted to do my own art in it. So that's what I started doing. It says the internet is not here. This page is about how when I create art, I want to do it without having the internet at the back of my mind, without having that knowledge that it's going to be seen and going to be consumed, or the wish to create something that will be popular or that people will like. I mean, obviously I want people to like my work, but I don't want to create for likes. So that's kind of what I was exploring in this page. It says WTF, WTF, and WTF, but the full phrase. Keeping it PG here. This one doesn't have any text. I'm going to just be kind of reading out the text that you might not be able to read whenever it's there, and if there is something to explain about the spread, because I specifically remember what I was feeling or whatever, then I shall say it when we get to it. My real face, do you still love me now? This I found very difficult to share because it was so much more raw. A lot of my work is still quite pretty. This was the first time I really made something kind of deliberately ugly, and that was quite scary. I haven't done it very much since then. Kind of motifs, the black and white stripes were coming back a bit, hands, a crown, and like a stop sign. I think this is a slightly more recent piece. I don't remember. I don't work chronologically. It's largely chronologically in this journal, but not completely. So there will be some newer stuff towards the front. And yeah. To destroy. Are you criticizing me? I always feel criticized, whether I am or not. How can you possibly help me? Blade. Sur le plafond. We were on holiday in French, so there's a few French things coming up. What? Quoi? What? What are you doing here? I use my journals a lot to kind of work out questions to myself. Questions, kind of like shouting questions into the void, I guess. Little boxes on the hillside. That's from the theme song of Weeds, and that song and the kind of being boxed in and being in a kind of, I don't know, like a life you can't escape from, that appealed to me and I really connected with that. So that is a motif that comes up a lot, the little boxes. Becoming human, which is something that I feel like a lot of my art deals with. It's about me connecting to my own humanness and to other people's as a kind of consequence. This was a page where I used cheap kids watercolors. I think I was doing art with my kids at this point. I tend to use similar colors from piece to piece, and it gives a kind of cohesive look to different pieces as time goes on. And then as we get further into the sketchbook, you'll see that the colors and stuff, they change gradually. Here's a couple of question marks in the box. Shut. I guess it feels like, you know, shut in a box, shut your trap, that kind of thing. This was from a lesson by Mindy Lacefield, and I think this was as well. Here I started trying to do a bit more kind of sketchy pages rather than the mixed media art journaling style that I usually do. I might have done this whilst I was out and about. Obviously these types of things you really need to be, well, I need to be at an art desk, be able to make a mess, have water, have quite a lot of supplies, whereas this is more simple, limited supplies, and also supplies that you can just like put in a pencil pouch and take with you in a bag. This is King Pigeon, who is a character in a story that my eldest wrote at that point in time when he was about 6, I think. It was called King Pigeon and His Servant Ultraword. My undoing, its blood, its love, its hellfire. You are rising. This and a few other pieces I made at a time of quite a bit of turmoil in my emotional life. I mean, when is my emotional life not in turmoil? But it was specifically a difficult time, and I made art that I'm really still very proud of, and that really speaks to me and is very meaningful to me. So this is one of those pieces. I think this was a life book taster session that I did. Wait. It's very raw. There's something, it says something there, but I can't read it. Open your eyes and see. Sometimes I do messages in my art that kind of, they talk to other people in an angry way, but I also always find that I end up talking to myself as well, because I think that when, you know, the thing that annoys you most in other people is usually stuff that you haven't addressed in yourself yet. So that does come up. Where My Heart Lies. This was a lesson in Creative Jumpstart, and it was about home, and this was a symbolic for London, which is my home. I am not done. How could you not cry? I did this on the 4th of October 2018. I don't usually date my work, but the 4th of October is the anniversary of my mum's death, and I do try to take some time on that date to take some time for myself and to make some art, and so I wanted to specifically record that was done on that date. What box am I in? Regret. Nothing is ever lost. Here. Be good, be good, be good, be good, be good. I don't need to be good. What am I thinking of? Cœur. Don't come for me about my French pronunciation. It's the French word for heart. Let this in. Pay attention to your tears. Stay with me. And here there's lots of illegible writing. I do that quite often, where I want to just express things and I don't necessarily want other people to be able to read them, or I don't want to be able to read them, I just want to do kind of automatic writing, and so I will write illegibly and it just becomes part of the page and part of the texture. Open. This was my word of the year 2000, I don't remember. This was a lesson in Art Walk Alchemy, which was a course I was teaching on. Are you my fantasy? I crown you regent of my, and then destiny is crossed out and it says destruction. So I crown you regent of my destruction. Experimenting with oil pastels. This ice is on fire. This is not my jam. I don't even enjoy doing stuff like this. I am full of questions. I can't catch my breath. Where did you come from? Uncover, discover. Where have you been all my life? Never, not for me. Where is hope? I think it says, I no longer long for you, no longer longing. Who do you stand in for? Looking is uncomfortable. Back then it was all about you. Remember that time you were really mean to me? There's a bit more of an abstract page. I just realized that yes, I can. I think it says something judgment? Daring judgment? I don't know. In my tracks back years, remember that time you really hurt me. I must conclude you don't love me at all. I never told you I'm from outer space. It's kind of humorous, but it's also like, you know, it's that feeling that we sometimes have about feeling so alien to this world and this life. Schim, it's a Dutch word for kind of like shadow. I was in Holland at the time that I painted this, hence the Dutch word. Searching. Allow. I love this page, and sometimes I wish that I could just only do art like this because it's so appealing, but then I need to be making all this other art too. But yeah, this would be simple. I'd have loads of followers and loads of likes if I just made art like this. No text on this one. I like all of these lines. Speak, obviously ironic because the face has no mouth. Experimenting with eyes. This was probably unfinished, but sometimes I like to leave things unfinished. Who am I? Sick. That's an N, I think. See me. I want to be seen. I want you to see me. That's something that comes back in my work a lot, about seeing and being seen, and kind of the fears around that. Remember, be forgettable. This is about, I guess I'm kind of exploring that. I'm exploring that concept of how femininity is viewed and how women are viewed, and how sometimes, I guess sometimes society wants women to be quiet and forgettable and not stand out much, because when women are powerful and stand out and speak up, then that's very threatening to some people. So I think that's what I was exploring here. And also the wish in myself to sometimes be forgettable and to move into the background and to not be noticed, and how those two things can be at war. Like, on the one hand, want to be a strong woman, want to be here, want to take up my place, and at the same time kind of want to disappear. See me now. I hate this page. I was using paints that I put out for my kids, and so that's not my kind of color palette, and I just don't really like it. That says the small bang, but I think one of my kids wrote that. I sometimes get them to write in my art journals before pages are finished, just to kind of, you know, sometimes they will, that was something that they were scared of, so, you know, they get to write it out and kind of have catharsis that way, or not have to be worried so much. Becoming, similar to that Becoming Human page from earlier. Turmoil. That does not require words, and the words can't go in because there's kind of X's over the ears, or where the ears would be. I don't tend to draw ears. This was for a online tutorial, I think. It will definitely never be me. No way, so what? This was a repeat of this one because I think the camera hadn't recorded. It was like an live online session and it went wrong, so I had to do it again. Inspiration isn't out there, it's in here. That's a reminder to myself that when I get too distracted by what other people are doing, by like enviously looking at other people's art, thinking, oh, I wish I could do that, I wish I could be like that, whatever. It's a reminder that the art that I make comes from inside me, and that's where I need to be looking for inspiration in the first instance. But what if there were two? This is from a song that we were singing in choir. I have forgotten. Night Swimming. It was Night Swimming. Yes, love that song. No. No was my word of the year for 2020, and it's served me very well. It was a bit of an uncomfortable one to choose, but I am actually quite glad that I chose no as my word. It felt like something that I needed to do. This was another class by Mindy Lacefield. I love all the texture and stuff. It isn't quite my style, but I loved exploring making texture and making some slightly more concrete things, like this little stone path and these little kind of owls / skulls. Go away. Feel no sorrow, feel no pain, which I think is from the Logical song. Did you know that this disease is much more dangerous? This is about depression. When I see you, I cry. When I think of you, I cry. Abstract flowers. This was a bonus lesson on Lifebook. This is for me. Here I was remembering again about making art for myself and taking time to make art for myself. Confusion. Pulled in all directions. Fear of being seen, which is a very big fear of mine. I obviously put my work on the internet, I make studio vlogs, I am quite visible, and yet I also really am scared of being seen, like being really seen. In a way, I think it's actually sometimes easier to be seen on the internet because it's kind of slightly anonymized, but being seen by like an individual person, that's scary. More abstract flowers. Permission. I think this was like one of those online sessions as well, like a free retreat. Experience, but no heart. This was about how I feel like I have lived a life so far, 35 years, with quite a lot of experiences, but not necessarily very connected to my heart or my feelings. And that's something that I am very much kind of interacting with right now in therapy and just in my kind of personal journey about connecting the things that I do with how I feel. And no text. And an abstract piece where it says, "You always suffer from a lack of commitment." That's me being a bit self-critical, I guess. Saying to myself, you always suffer from a lack of commitment, which is difficult. It's difficult to be in life, in therapy, dealing with everything, and also be a consistent person who achieves things. That is, it's difficult to keep on track. And it's something that I struggle with, and I am trying to figure out. So that was my little Sea White of Brighton chonky boy journal. He's a big chonker. I don't know if it's a he. I don't know. Yes, so I'm very pleased to have finished a journal because that is a awesome feeling. I am sure you'll agree. This was, did I say this is 190 pages journal? So that's a pretty big achievement, I think. And I will miss this journal. I will miss working in this one a lot because it's kept me company for 4 years, and it was very important to me in my kind of art journey. Around this time was when I really started developing my own style. So it's really kind of seen me through 4 years of artistic development, and it is probably one of my most important journals. Anyway, I hope you liked this video and this little talk through, flip through. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe and comment and all that stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!